Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Katie and I'm the Organic Esthetician. So today's video is going to be kind of a Q&A. I get so many comments and questions on my videos and I love it and I respond to all of you. But I don't think everyone sees all of the comments and the responses, so I thought that I would do a video that covers the questions I get most regularly, specifically about the NuFace device. So that is what we're going to go over today. So I want to start a little bit talking about the NuFace device. This is the NuFace Trinity. It's an at-home microcurrent device. Microcurrent is a low-level electrical current that mimics the body's natural current, and it helps to actively lift and tighten the facial muscle. It also stimulates cellular energy, this stuff called ATP, which is what your cells kind of eat or like live on. And your body can store it in reserves. So every time you use this device, not only are you actively lifting and tightening the facial muscle, but you're also creating a store of excess cellular energy, which is very cool. So it is an electrical current. You need a conductivity gel for the current to flow freely into the skin. The way it works is that you get like positive and negative that hop back and forth here on these electrodes. And so for the device to work properly, it needs to be flush against the skin with both balls touching at the same time. And you can't do it just on dry skin. You need to use some sort of conductor. So NuFace makes their own conductivity gel. It is now paraben free. I still don't love it. Not only does this device do all the things that I mentioned before, but it also helps with product penetration. And so if I'm going to put a product on my skin that this device is then going to push farther into my skin, I want it to be as clean as possible since I am the organic esthetician, right? So I really like using organic aloe vera. Lately I've been using this lily of the desert, which is okay, but you can kind of do whatever you find. Organic aloe vera, nothing else in it. Let's see, I also really like ASAP colloidal silver gel. So the big thing with conductivity for this device to work correctly is that it needs to be oil-free. Oil will block the electrical current and not make the device effective. I've gotten some questions about the ASAP colloidal silver gel. So this is actually empty. I used it all. I need to get more. This is made by American Biotech Labs. You'll see like silver biotics across the top of some of the bottles. This is old packaging. They've repackaged twice since this came out, which I think is weird. I think you should find what works and stick with it, but whatever, you do you. Silver biotics. So I will link both of these down below to Amazon. They're inexpensive. It's really easy to use. The other question that I get about this specific product is the ingredient list. So it is made with, let's see, a water-based hydrogel containing 24 parts per million proprietary silver solution, which is purified water and nano silver, and then it has TEA and carbomer. So I got a question recently about the TEA ingredient. TEA is toxic, right? On its own, it's not a nice ingredient. However, to formulate a gel, you do need TEA. The cool thing that happens during the formulation process of a gel like this guy is that the TEA burns off after it's done its job. So all of the toxic part of that ingredient is no longer inside this gel. So you are totally cool to use it. It's safe. It is organic esthetician approved. So I hope that helps. If you feel weird about it, just use organic aloe vera. The thing that I do like about the colloidal silver is that it promotes natural healing in the body. So you get that kind of added healing benefit. But both of these work great, and I tend to wipe them off when I'm done anyway, so I'm not leaving a lot of it on the skin and then putting serums over the top. So it's, again, not on your skin that long. Contraindications. Okay, so this is a big one. You cannot use the NuFace device if you are pregnant, if you have a pacemaker, or any other sort of electrical implant inside your body. You cannot use it if you have epilepsy, nor if you have cancer. You also shouldn't use it if you have any sort of like liver or kidney disease where detoxification is bad for you. Microcurrent is naturally a little detoxifying, and so it can put stress on some of those organs if they are having trouble doing their regular functions normally. Always, as with everything, if you aren't sure about whether or not this device is right for you, consult a physician, especially if you're sick or if you have some sort of disease or anything. The other thing that you should not do is use it over like an open wound or lesion, or like if you have really bad cystic acne and it's like actively open and angry, don't do it. Not so great. It's not going to feel awesome. I also get questions about metal fillings and metal in the body. So I think the answer I'm going with is you are fine to use it if you have metal fillings. If you have like a giant metal plate in your body and you set off a metal detector, if you were to walk through it, then I'm gonna say don't add electricity to your body. Seems straightforward, right? I've used it on clients that have like a titanium plate in their hip and they were fine. I've had people with a plate in their head who opted not to use it. So again, when in doubt, ask your doctor. I'm not a doctor, I'm just an esthetician. Sensation. So I think some people get freaked out because you can feel it. I think normal sensation is not feeling anything to like a mild sensation. Active sensation, where you feel like you're getting zapped, that's because you're not using enough conductivity gel. So I find that happens most right here on this bone next to my nose. I get a little bit here at the temple, anywhere around the hairline, because hair will cause it to be zippy. Same with the brow hairs. So if you're working along the hairline, you're going to be careful to go to it but not cross it. If you're doing it around the brow area, you're going to put conductivity gel all over the brow area as well as the skin. If you are working in this section of the face and you don't have gel here and you touch your skin where there isn't gel, you might get zipped, zapped, prickly sensation, whatever you want to call it. So that's why that's happening. If it's too much for you, you can turn the device down. So I use mine all the way up always, but there's settings you can put it lower, and that might help with some of that sensation too, until you build up a tolerance, and then slowly add more intensity as you continue to use the device. Some other things that happen, like weird little side effects, when you use the device that are totally normal. I'll use it sometimes and I'll feel like almost like a pulsation through my hair. Again, that's just the current. It doesn't hurt, it just feels kind of trippy. And when I do it around my brow area, specifically on the left side, sometimes I'll get like a muscle spasm where you can actually see the muscle like actively being activated. That's what I just said. So, okay. You can see the muscle being activated by the device, and it'll like do, and it'll stop, and then it'll go again, and you can kind of see what the device actually does to the muscle. I don't know if anyone else has had that happen to them. Again, totally normal. Feels a little weird, but normal. Also around the eye area, sometimes even if your eyes are closed, you can kind of see almost like a strobing light. Again, that's just the device around like the ocular nerve. And then the other thing that'll happen is that you'll taste a metallic taste in your mouth. Now, I've seen stuff online where people say it's because you have metal fillings and that's what causes it. I don't have any metal fillings and that happens. I was told that it's because it's pulling metal that's accumulated in your body out. And that's that detoxification part of it in action. So again, don't be alarmed if any of these things come up while you're using the device. It's totally normal. NuFace talks about it on their website. You're good. Oh, I've had someone say that they only see results on one side of their face and not the other. And I don't know what they were doing when they were using the device. In my mind, I would think that maybe you're just not duplicating it. So I think a big thing that you need to make sure is that if you do a movement on one side, you want to make sure you do the exact same movement on the other. And so for me, the way that I have tried to prevent skipping steps on one side and the other is that I do the same sequence start to finish every time. And I find that way you just don't forget to, do your cheek area, because you know that like you do glides all the way up your face and then you do holds all the way up your face. And so however that works for you, I would just suggest figuring out your routine and doing that routine every time. Do it on one side, do it on the other. I also find that if I hold my device in my right hand, and when I go to this side, I don't really do it with my left hand, especially since I have wrist injuries. It gets hard. So if you're using your opposite hand as you're doing the movements, maybe you're getting it at a different angle, or maybe it's not quite the same. So I would find, or I would suggest that you just be very mindful, and then maybe start with the side that looks less affected by the microcurrent. So like if your right side is always super lifted, start with the left. Or even if you've started with the left and you've done all of the same movements and it still doesn't look the same, go over that side a few more times to kind of bump it up and see if that helps as well. Usage. Okay, so you should be using the device one time per 24 hours. So once a day to use the device. They recommend, NuFace as a company recommends that for the first 60 days that you use the device, that you're doing it 5 times a week. Which I think I try to do it every day, but it ends up being just about that. And then after that first 60 days, you can do more maintenance treatment where you're only doing it maybe 2 to 3 times per week. A full sequence is about, like full face is about 20 minutes. 15 to 20 minutes. I would suggest, if you don't have 20 minutes to do your whole face, do a 5-minute routine. Either pick the thing that you want to focus on the most and just do it there. So like if you want to elevate your brow, or like your jawline bothers you, just do your jaw every day. If you want to work in multiple areas, like Monday's jaw day, Tuesday's brow, Thursday's forehead, something like that, where by the end of the week you've done your whole face, but you still have time to do all the other things that you need to do throughout the day, and it's not super time consuming. I love this device so much. I feel like everyone should have one. Here's the thing, they don't sponsor me. This actually is my mom's NuFace device because I killed mine when I moved into this apartment. Blew the breaker, and I took out my NuFace and my Clarisonic device all in one go, and I definitely cried. It was so sad. I like genuinely just love this device. It's not because I'm getting paid. Although NuFace, if you wanted to pay me, I would be super into that. Places that you should not use the device. You cannot use it down the center of your throat. I talk about this in my neck tutorial video. Don't do it here. The other place that you shouldn't do it is inside the orbital bone. So like I do my eye routine and it's right here kind of on the bone. Don't go inside the orbital bone, and you can feel it. It's essentially where your like eyeshadow crease line would be. That's your bone. Don't go inside of it. Same, it comes down here. So when you're doing your movements under the eye, you're staying right under here. You're not going all the way up to the lashes. I can't imagine anyone would do that, because unless you have conductivity on your eyelashes, you're going to be zipping your eyeballs, and it's not going to feel nice. So don't do it. Also, inside this bone around the mouth, as what they say on the website, I mean, I don't have any trouble when I do my lip routine. I just hold it right around the mouth area, and it's totally fine. So those are the 3 spots that you shouldn't use the device. So NuFace doesn't really promote this. I don't know why. It kind of drives me crazy. This is a professional device. They make a retail device as well. So if you were to buy your NuFace on, I don't know, at Nordstrom or wherever, you just need to look on the back of the box and see how many microamps it has. The professional device is sold at spas. So say a place that uses the device in treatment and they also retail the device, they are allowed to retail the professional model, and it is 400 microamps. The retail device is 335. The mini device is also 335. I don't suggest anyone buy the mini. I'm sorry if you already have it. I don't get the point of it. What's so great about this is that you can take off the heads and put on other attachments. I love multitaskers. So now my microcurrent device is also, if I can get it on, my LED device. Yes, yes, yes. Why would you get a microcurrent device that you can't do that with when there's one that you can? Makes no sense to me. LED light. I have a whole video on LED, but I can talk about it really quickly. Not great if you're epileptic, not good if you have any thyroid problems, although I have seen lots of research on the internet that says otherwise. So I don't know the answer to that question. I've seen a lot of studies that show red light therapy to be very beneficial for hypothyroidism, but I have also read a lot of things on the internet that say don't use LED light therapy if you have a thyroid condition. So again, consult your doctor. You can use this anywhere. It has the same contraindications other than the thyroid stuff as the microcurrent. So cancer, pregnant, pacemaker, electrical devices inside of you, and then epileptic. This is gonna make you seize. It's super strobe lighty. I'm gonna turn it on. You can kind of see it activates when you put it flush on the skin, but it's definitely like a strobe light. You can damage your cornea with this, so be careful, don't look directly into it. When you're doing the eye area, close your eyes. It's still super bright, so if you have any light sensitivity, I don't recommend it. If you're taking any medication that makes you photosensitive, I don't recommend it. If you're using a lot of really intense retin-A, I don't recommend it. Botox. Microcurrent is super great if you get Botox injections, especially on your forehead. You're going to want to wait 2 weeks post-injection before you use the device on the treated area. But what happens when you use Botox is that it freezes the muscle, and when a muscle is frozen, it is paralyzed, and therefore it atrophies because you're not actively using it to build up the muscle, so it'll deteriorate. I don't know if any of you who get Botox regularly notice that you have to start using it more the longer you get injections, and that's because you're actually getting some premature aging from the atrophied muscle. So a great way to exercise your frozen muscles is with microcurrent. And you can do it right over the forehead, and that's not only going to make your Botox injection last longer, it's gonna make it so that you look better when it wears off as well. And not to say that I personally support Botox, it's not for me, but I know lots of people do it, and I don't think they actually know what it is that they're doing. So that, I think, covers all of the questions that I've been getting. If there are more, leave them in the comments below. Again, I love hearing from you guys. I love it when you suggest things. It really helps me figure out what my next videos are gonna be. So comment below, make sure you subscribe, and then if you're super into my channel and you want to see more things that I do, check out my Instagram. I'll link it down below, the Organic Esthetician. There's underscores in between those words. And I kind of have unique content that I post there almost every day. And then I also have a favorites list on my website that is a list of all of my favorite products and devices. So if you ever are like, I'm in the market for a new cleanser or serum and I don't know what to get, make sure you check out my list first before you go shopping, because maybe you will find something that you didn't know that you even wanted. Life-changing. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you soon.